Hey y'all. What I wanted to do today is actually something that I've been meaning to do for well over a year now. I don't know if any of y'all have kept up with me since, but I went to New York probably about a year and a month or two ago. I think we went in May of last year. What I ended up doing was I did this really pretty makeup look, and I've been wanting to do it ever since then, and it has literally taken me this long to sit down and just film this. So I'm gonna try to recreate it as much as possible, as much as I remember, because it was a really long time ago. I remember being cool toned purple. I remember what palette I used because it was the palette that I bought especially for New York. Every time I want to go on a big trip, I want to buy a big makeup item to purely use for that trip, because I enjoy makeup and I think that's super fun. So I'm 99% sure that I primed my face with this Too Faced Hangover Primer, because y'all know that this has been a staple in my collection and probably the only primer that I really use that much. And I don't think I was using an eyeshadow primer then. I really don't think I was, because pretty shortly after I started using, okay, this is way too much primer. Shortly after I began using eyeshadow primer, I started developing a lot of weird, my eyes would start swelling and stuff like that. And it wasn't so much the primer as it was other things, but the primer irritated it. So I had really dry eyelids, and I think I had stopped using eye primer then. So what I'm going to end up doing is just using some concealer, because that doesn't seem to irritate it as much or dry it out. And I'm going to let this primer kind of soak in while we do the eyes. But these, I only had 2 concealers back then, and I probably only have about 3 now, so honestly, not a whole lot has changed. But I'm just gonna kind of dot my eyelids with of course I picked the empty one, so I'm gonna have to go run out and get the other one. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in Light, and I'm gonna buff this in and find the other one that's actually full and be right back. Okay, and to start off with, I use this bad boy. This is the Tarteist Pro, or Tarteist Pro, I always say Tarteist, but I don't think that's at all how you pronounce that. I remember doing a cool tone purple look, a very mauve-y. At the time I was fake tan. At the time I was actually wearing the same shirt. If I can remember it, I'll try to show you the picture where I had my whole outfit on and I was standing in front of the, what's it called? The hotel where Blair and, I think it's the one that Chuck used to own. This is the one that's off of Gossip Girl. I did not preface that very well. It's the one that Chuck owns in Gossip Girl, and we stayed in the same freaking hotel, and I don't know, it was just really cool, and the hotel was so nice. We ended up staying up, I don't remember which floor it was on, but it was really high up, and we had this direct look over the church, the cathedral that was right behind us, and it was so pretty, y'all. Okay, I just fluffed a little color over this just so it wouldn't be tacky. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with my crease color first, and I feel like I use Chick, which is this color right here. Sorry, this thing is so reflective. But if I'm doing a cool tone look, I wouldn't have started off with anything warm in the crease. I would have started building up these purpley mauve shades first, and probably this more tan skin color. I know at the time, and I think I just said this, I know at the time I was self-tanned, but I don't have time for that, so I just did not put any on. It's okay, we can still recreate the same look. So now I'm gonna go in with Indie, which is like this really, really light lavender shade. And I'm still using that same denser, fluffy brush, the more precise one. Now I'm gonna pick up, I'm gonna pick up Profesh, which is like this purpley shade. I'm just gonna kind of work my way down the purples, and I'm gonna switch out brushes and start using a little bit of a fluffier, lighter brush. Not lighter, but the fluffier, bigger brush. I'm gonna pick up Profesh. And now I'm gonna pick up Fierce, which is this purple shade directly under. Sorry, I am literally the worst at holding this. Alright, and I know that I picked up some of No Filter, which is this shade right here. It's kind of a warmer purple. I just remember that color for some reason. I think it's because I didn't know whether or not that purple would look good with all the rest of the purples, but I use it anyway. And I want to say that I picked up Maud as well. It's this pinky color, kind of like an orchid. Why do I always say that? It's orchid. Okay, trying that again. And I think I must have put it on a different brush, but I'm still gonna use this brush just because I know that I just put a matte, like white shade on the middle or on the inner part of my eye. So I think I'm just gonna fluff this kind of like into the corner a little bit, but more focusing it, kind of spreading to the middle of the lid. And now I know I did deepen this up because I wanted it to be really kind of dark, and I started using Drama, which is this purple shade right here. My gosh, this lighting is so weird right now. It's this purple right here. And I'm using this on a smaller, fluffy brush just to compact it more in that corner, but still blend it out. And then I picked up Vamp, I'm pretty sure, just to smoke it out even more. Which is this color. It's like an extremely dark purple, almost black. Like, it's not quite black, but it's really close to that. Okay, and now I remember using, I'm pretty sure I use Vintage, which is like this super like white shade. And I just remember putting this on, and at first I was like, I don't like that. And then the more I saw it, I was like, I kind of do. So I'm pretty sure I just used Vintage on this whole inner part of my eye just to brighten it up, because the rest of it was so like dark and purple and and then I'm just gonna pick up that fluffier brush that we had before with no extra product on it, and I'm just gonna kind of run these colors back over this metal because I don't want the white overtaking too much of it. I want it to just brighten up that inner part of my eye. So I'm gonna continue on with the face. I'm using my number 7 in Warm Ivory. This is the Lift and Illuminate foundation. A couple pumps on the back of my hand. And at the time, y'all know when I'm tan, I like to mix my foundations with the Too Faced Born This Way in sand. I find that it has a really nice, not too orangey, I should say. It kind of does have an orangier base, but not as bad. Alright, and now for concealer, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and I'm just gonna put this up underneath my eyes. And if I was self-tan, then that means that I probably use this along my nose and on my chin, just to kind of marry the two together, because I'm pretty sure that this is almost a little bit too light for when I am tan. So I'll probably try to even everything out and make it look a lot more natural. So I would have put it up under my chin and on my nose and everything like that. And I know that I never cream contoured then, because cream contour was not a thing with me for a really long time. In fact, I really only got into it a little bit at the end of the last year. And I didn't bring my Shade and Light palette either, so I know I didn't. Just because there was only a limited amount of space anyway. So I knew that, I think contour got kicked to the curb on this one. Now, I'm pretty sure I bronze, especially if I was self-tanned, just because it would kind of marry everything together. And I'm pretty sure the only bronzer that I was using then was this Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I don't think I had any of the other ones, and I sure as heck didn't buy another one, because I like this one so much. So I'm just gonna put this all over my face, like all on the deeper parts. And I'm pretty sure if I was doing a cool tone look, this would have been my go-to. This is the Milani Powder Blush in Romantic Rose. It's my go-to for any sort of cool tone look. So I'm pretty sure I brought this, and I probably brought the warm tone one too, but if I was doing this purple eye, I would have used this one. And by the warm tone, I mean my OG, like, peachy blush from, oh man, what is that brand called? Something with an M. Mellow Cosmetics. That's the one. But probably would have just done this, and then I would have been done with the whole like face besides eyebrows. Now, I wasn't using this at the time, but for the life of me, I cannot remember what kind of brow things I was actually using then. I don't know what I ever used before this little device, because I didn't have pencils. Oh my gosh, I did have a pencil. It was from like Maybelline or something, but I didn't like it very much, and it was like super, no, it's from Rimmel. That's what I was using. I think I had it in my drawer, kind of like a stub of it, but it was super warm. And what was funny was, I think I got away with it because I was still kind of blonde when I was using it. And by blonde, I mean like really blonde, like I was out in the sun a lot and stuff. And I think I got away with it because my hair kind of lifted to like a really warm blonde in the summer, but I couldn't use it once my hair started turning a little bit darker and I wasn't out in the sun as much, because I was so cool toned, and it looks so weird with like super warm eyebrows. Okay, I remember now, it was a pencil, but it wasn't like any of the ones that like everyone uses. Like, it wasn't Anastasia, it wasn't Benefit, it wasn't It Cosmetics or anything. IT, and I know I didn't use this mascara, but mascara is basically, I know I have it somewhere. It's the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, but I ain't gonna use it because lately that has not been working for my eyelashes. So I'm using the It Cosmetics Superhero. Once upon a time they told me that this stuff had keratin in it and it like helped lengthen your eyelashes. I don't know how true that is, but I just remember it working really well, like long term for me. So I'm just gonna put this on and then we'll be almost done. Okay, so I was putting on my top mascara and I realized I never ever finished the lash line, and I know that I put stuff underneath the lash line because I almost always do. Very, very rarely do not, and that's only when I'm doing like very minimal makeup. So what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna pick up this pencil brush. It's kind of tapered, and I'm gonna pick up like 2 or 3 of the darker shades that we were using. So I'm gonna pick up No Filter and Fierce, which are these 2 colors right here. I don't know if you can tell from this crappy lighting. Like, it's super bright lighting, but I think it's a little bit too bright. So, oops. And I'm just gonna run this up underneath the lash line, this pencil brush. And I wanna say I went all the way in. Don't ask me why I kept doing that. But I remember. I think I put all of it up underneath my lash line. Like, I think I darkened it when we went out for the night because I was gonna like completely redo my makeup and it never happened. So I just ended up putting like some darker, and I think I ran it all the way up under. I was not using highlighter on that trip. Like, when I look back at pictures, I never saw a highlight. And I'm gonna pick up Drama with this pencil brush too because it's really dark. I'm gonna focus this on the outer edge. For some reason I did not wear highlighter on that trip, and I don't know if that was just because I was too lazy to pack one, or if I forgot it and then just like the whole rest of the week just like did not wear it, or weekend I guess, because we were only there for like 3 or 4 days. And I just buffed it all up underneath, and I do not believe I put any other colors on here. I remember doing like some dark purples and really buffing it out, and then I never did an inner corner highlight. Alright, and I know that this was a big thing because I ordered this lip trio like right before I left, and that was to be like my lips for like the whole week, and I pretty much just wore this color. This is Chai by ColourPop, if I can rotate it right. And I just remember putting this on, and it was kind of like a grade purple, and I kind of fell in love with it the whole rest of the week. So I'm just gonna put this on and then we'll be done. And looking at this lip now, it really is not that purple. I mean, it's like a gray, light brown. And I mean, that's what it looks like in the tube too, so don't ask me why I thought this was more purple than it was. I guess it has a tinge of like lavender in it or something, but I just remember wearing this lip with this eye. And I may not have put the warmer purple as heavily as I did today. I feel like this was a lot more like cooled down, a lot more like gray purple than it was like just straight up purple. But this is the finished look. This is basically what I wore around New York. It was like super different because I never wore cool tone lip, and I never wear like cool tone purple on my eyes, or if I do, then I mix it with something else. It's usually warm, just because I'm a warm loving kind of girl. So Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial. This is like one of the first looks that I thought of when I was doing this palette. Like when I first bought it, I was like, ooh, I know what I want to do. And then it just kind of went from there. But yeah, if you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.